Learn Photoshop smart filters. Learn Photoshop smart filters. Apply a smart filter. To apply a smart filter to an entire smart object layer, select the layer in the layers panel and constrain the effects of the smart filter to a selected area of a smart objects layer and make a selection. And to apply a smart filter to a regular layer, select the layer and choose filter, then choose convert to smart filters and then click OK. And also choose a filter from the filter menu, and you can choose any filter, by the way, including third-party filters that support smart filters except extract and pattern maker and vanishing point. And you have to choose image, then choose adjustments, then shadows, then highlight. And note and be careful here please now. If you apply one or more filters using the filter gallery and they appears as a group in the layers panel named filter gallery, you can edit individual filters by double clicking a filter gallery entry. And number 3, set filter options and then click OK. The smart filter, by the way, appears under the smart filters line in the layers panel beneath the smart objects layer. And if you see a warning icon next to the smart filters in the layers panel, the filter doesn't support, by the way, the image's color, mood or depth. And after you apply a smart filter, you can drag it and or an entire group of smart filters and onto another smart objects layer in the layers panel, and press Alt drag if you use Windows, then press Option drag if you use Mac OS. And the smart filters, you can't drag smart filters onto regular layers, by the way. How to edit a smart filters? If a smart filters contains is editable setting, and you can edit it anytime, and you can also edit blending options for smart filters. And be careful here again. When you edit a smart filters, you can't preview filters stacked above it, and after you finish editing the smart filters, by the way, Photoshop again displays the filters stacked above it. How to edit smart filter setting? We have 2 steps. Step number 1, double click the smart filter in the layers panel, then set filters options and then press OK. How to edit smart filters blending options? Editing smart filters blending options is similar to using the fade command when applying a filter to a traditional layer, by the way. And you have to do that, double click the edit blending option icon next to the filter in the layers panel, then set blending options and then press OK. Hide smart filters. How to hide smart filters? You should do the following now. To hide a single smart filters, click the eye icon next to the smart filter in the layers panel, then to show the smart filter, click in the column again. And to hide all smart filters applied to smart object layers, click the eye icon, then next to smart filters line in the layers panel to show the smart filters, click in the column again. How to record and duplicate or delete smart filters. How to record and duplicate or delete smart filters. You can record smart filters, by the way, in the layers panel and duplicate them or delete smart filters if you no longer want to apply them to a smart object, by the way. And how to record smart filters in the layers panel? Drag a smart filters up or down in the list, then double click filters gallery to record any gallery filters. And Photoshop applies smart filters from the bottom up, by the way. How to duplicate smart filters? In the layers panel, press Alt drag Windows if you use Windows, or Option drag if you use Mac OS, and the smart filter from one smart object to another or to a new location in the smart filters list. Note and be careful please here now. To duplicate all smart filters, Alt drag if you use Windows or Option drag if you use Mac OS, and the smart filters icon that appears next to the smart object layers, by the way. Delete smart filters. How to delete smart filters? To delete an individual smart filter, drag it to the delete icon at the bottom of the layers panel. Then to delete all smart filters applied to a smart object layer, then select a smart object layer and choose layer, then choose smart filter, then choose clear smart filters anyway. Mask smart filters. How to mask smart filters. When you apply a smart filter to a smart object, by the way, Photoshop displays an empty white mask thumbnail on the smart filters line in the layers panel under the smart object. And by default, this mask, by the way, shows the entire filter effect. And if you made a selection before applying the smart filter, Photoshop, by the way, displays the appropriate mask instead of an empty mask on the smart filters line in the layers panel. And use filter masks to selectively mask smart filters, and when you mask smart filters, the masking applies to all smart filters, by the way, and you can't mask individual smart filters. Filter masks work much like layer masks, and you can use many of the same techniques with them. And like layer masks, filter masks are stored as alpha channels in the channels model, and you can load their boundaries as a selection. And like layer masks, you can paint on a filter mask, and areas of the filter that you paint in black are hidden, by the way, and areas you paint in white are visible, and areas you paint in shades of gray appear in various levels of transparency. And use the controls in the masks panel to change the filter mask density and add feathering to the edges of the mask, and or invert the mask. Note, and be careful here again. By default, layer masks are linked to regular layer or smart object layers, by the way. And when you move the layer mask or the layer using the move tool, they move as a unit. Mask smart filter effects. Mask smart filter effects. We have many options here now. Click the filter mask thumbnail in the layers panel to make it active, and a border appears around the mask thumbnail. Number 2, select any of the editing or painting tools. Number 3, do one of the following. To hide portions of the filter, paint the mask with black, and to show portions of the filter, paint the mask with white. And to make the filter partially visible, paint the mask with gray. And you can also apply image adjustments and filters to filter masks. How to change filter mask opacity or feather mask edges. We have many options again. Option number 1, click the filter mask thumbnail or select the smart object layer in the layers panel, and then click the filter mask button in the masks panel. And in the mask panel, drag the distance slider to adjust the mask opacity, and the feathering slider to apply feathering to the mask edges. Note again, the mask edge option is not available, by the way, for filter masks. And how to invert a filter mask. Click the filter mask thumbnail in the layers panel, then click invert in the masks panel. Display only the filter mask. How to display only the filter mask? If you use Windows, Alt click, and if you use macOS, Option click, and the filter mask, by the way, thumbnail in the layers panel to show the smart object layer, and Alt click if you use Windows, or Option click if you use macOS, the filter mask thumbnail again. How to move or copy filter masks. How to move or copy filter masks. To move the masks to another smart filter effects, drag the mask to the other smart filter effect. And to copy the mask, Alt drag if you use Windows, or Option drag if you use macOS, the mask to another smart filter effect. Disable a filter mask. Do one of the following. Shift click the filter mask thumbnail in the layers panel, and click the filter mask thumbnail in the layers panel, and then click the disable or enable mask button, by the way, in the masks panel. After that, choose layer and choose smart filter and choose disable filter mask, and a red X appears over the filter mask thumbnail, by the way, when the mask is disabled, and the smart filter appears without masking. And to re-enable the mask, shift click the smart filter mask thumbnail again. Delete a smart filter mask. How to delete? Click the filter mask thumbnail in the layers panel, then click the delete icon in the masks panel, then drag the filter mask thumbnail in the layers panel to the delete icon, and then select the smart filter effects and choose layer, then choose smart filters, then choose delete filter mask. How to add a filter mask? If you delete a filter mask, you can subsequently add another mask. And to add an empty mask, select the Smart Object layer and then click the Filter Mask button in the Masks panel. And to add a mask based on a selection, make a selection first, and then right click if you use Windows or control click if you use Mac OS. And the Smart Filters line in the Layers panel and choose Add Filter Mask.